Motown Philly back again. Base camp builds on Thursday evening, along with some other shenanigans. Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Glad to be here Thursday evening, afternoon for some of you. Talking to my kid, um, getting cleaned up a little bit. It's like a mad lab up in here now with the 3D printer going nearly all the time. So let's do a roll call. I have made some serious progress on something. I'll tell you in a minute. All right. And then we're going to do, I got some mail stuff I want to open. We got new releases today as well. This is a truck show, but it's still me and it's still you. So, yo, you guys saw the yeehaw. You guys saw the little 64 millimeter Vipers today? How cool is that? And the little tiny 24 scale, I think it is, mini B. We'll look at those in a little while. So, as is always the case on Thursday, this is show number 4, by the way. The goal is to BS for an hour and then work on a kit. We are doing the base camp kit. This is show number 4. We want to give ourselves at least an hour to do the links. We got the shocks done last week, so we're moving right along. We should be doing links and maybe mountain links to skid plates, chassis kind of stuff might be happening. We'll see. But we're going to talk about some of the other fun stuff. I'm going to open up some things. I didn't get a chance to do it yet, but I've got some trim lock stuff that you can get through Amazon. Click through my Amazon, dudes. Like, let's go. Let's do the things. But yeah, we got some trim lock glue and trim lock trim, like some rubber molding, which would be great for putting windows in something. So I'll show all you guys that in a little bit. Paul McNeil, Wild Bill, Philip Cockrum, Pops in the house, Kelly Klein, Boss 223, Wild Bill, he got a 3D printer as well. Fred Barron, he'll show up later. Links in the description to the bamboo printer. Check that out if you're going to do that. The Spray the Avanti, Jeff and Laura, Alabama. Let's see. I'm catching up with the comments, guy. EQ, Jeff and Laura, Alabama, Dad, Paul, Wild Bill, Kelly Klein. All right. I think that's it. We're caught up with the comments. Fenders. Yeah, more than fenders. But I think I also want to show you guys grabbing a file and starting to print off. So I may do that here in a minute just to let you guys see how easy it is to work this bamboo from like scratch. I printed off some stuff last time on Sunday. I printed off the, Sky Raider toilet bomb thing from almost gone through a whole roll of LA. Yeah, I've gone through a few at this point. But yeah, I will have to order some more soon. I have some other stuff to try. PETG and maybe some carbon fiber style PLA. I don't even know. ABS, ASA, hut. But I'm happy with the PLA. And I'm absolutely so pumped about some of the things that I got done over the last few days. Yeah, it's crazy fun. And we'll set up I may have to scoot over and we'll set up. I've just this table was empty. I've sprawled out. But let's look at some of the goodies that I got in the mail. Let's just get that over with so I can clean the table off. I know I had scissors. Yep. So I ordered some stuff through Pilot Ryan's Amazon. What did I get? If you wanted to print off something like the X-Fly front nose gear and you can't find a file, what would you do? If you wanted to, you have to design it or find the file or get into Fusion 360 or some kind of CAD program and make it happen. I have started messing around with a Fusion a little bit, but I am nowhere ready to show. There's nothing I know to show yet because I'm looking forward to it for designing some of the bits and bobs that I'd like. And when I talk about this project here in a minute, I'll really lay out the kind of stuff that I would like to make. And honestly, 3D scanner would be amazing too, because I just take a picture of what exists and then edit it. But front nose gear, just the strut work or like what part of the gear? But once you have the file, so I got sprue cutters. I needed sprue cutters to help clean up some things here and there. I've always needed some. I need these for kit builds and also for cleaning up some of these prints. Sometimes if I don't want to break, if it's a delicate piece and I don't want to break the supports off, I can, snip to my darling on some of those. So nothing fancy. Oh, there's a little protective tip that the gear fits into. It's all plastic with a metal strut through the middle though, right? So yeah, that's something that has to be made in two halves. If you got more money and common sense, you get a 3D scanner and you just recreate the one that's broke. That's smart. Got a little plastic deal on it. Okay, that was that. Super exciting. Having sprue cutters. And what else? Oh, yeah. This is actually pretty. This is a little more exciting. Guess what it is? Kelly might know if he remembers the conversation we had. No big deal. But anybody who's designing anything should have one. A set of Philip nailed it. Digital calipers. So yeah. Oh, a couple little spare extra batteries. Instructions. This will be handy. Because, man, I am measuring some stuff. Oh, neat. These weren't a lot. There's like 25 bucks or something. I'll have to read the directions. But neat. I have no idea how to use them. I just know I need them. You know what I mean? Use yours a lot. Yeah. What's the bottom? What's the top? That's the bottom. Nice. So I have some calipers now that I will learn how to use. especially when I make the stuff I want to make. I unboxed these dudes, shock pliers. Yeah, bolt sizes. I actually printed off a nice little jig for bolt sizes. The files come with the bamboo, actually. I take the battery out every time. Yeah, that's fun. But yeah, little widgets, balsa building, nice. Shock pliers and rod end pivot ball installers. We're gonna need these today. Got those last week. Guess what I finally got? I ordered my other flap servo since it got canceled. So my Carbon Z T28, I got 2 flap servos now, so we can get that done. And from Trimlock Incorporated, www.trimlock.com, you can find their products on Amazon as well. Go to my store and do it. So I got some like CA type glue from them. Instant. Come on, man. Instant adhesive super glue. So this does not probably require a kicker. So we'll try this out, especially for all this gluing together materials, these 3D prints. So it comes in a nice Ziplocked up bag like this, and like that, and like this, and so that's from Trimlock. And then they make all kinds of things. And another thing they make is literally trim and like weather seal and stuff like that. So this is a perfect little bead with a slit in it that is going to fit Lexan amazingly and will be perfect for our windows. I should put something in here so you can see. I should grab a clear piece of Lexan. Yeah, some debonder. That's not a bad idea to have around. So this is just a piece of trash, but you can see that this is slit and will be really great for making window weather seal. The printer's going to be running soon. I'm going to find a file maybe with you guys and then do it. Basecamp builds right here. But what I want to get into a little bit, showing you, is what I've been working on a lot. The rubber edge trim has a small bead of glue in the bottom. So once you push that onto the Lexan, it will stay. That and the tension alone will also let it stay. But yeah, that's neat. It's got a little bit of adhesive. And I fully intend to get the windows done on my Land Rover. That is the last thing I have to do on the Land Rover. And I'll just show it to you real fast. It's almost the last thing I have to do. What's up, Shay? It's almost the last thing I have to do on the Land Rover because I want to do the interior, and I'm just going to probably use the seats that Kelly had originally printed. But I do want to do something with the floor. But I did want to show you guys. I got bumpers now. So I printed off some axial bits and made the bumpers work. I did a lot of fabbing to make this bumper work because it is not made for this chassis. So that bumper now, that's a metal bumper. It's on now, looks legit. And then the back one, I don't want to lose my lid. The back one has a bumper now too. And I would have had to have really stretched out the chassis a lot and then offset come down to make this work. I put the mud flaps on too. But yeah, I got these metal boom racing bumpers and cut them to fit. But the way this bumper is mounted is pretty low key. That's a piece of wood that's painted green up in the cavity. It's the same shape as the bumper, sandwiched on, glued to the screwed and glued to the floor, and then the bumper is screwed to it. So it's legit. Even I drilled the hole all the way through the piece of wood in the back, which is like a 1x. But now this is a good area. With the lid off, you can see how much I cut out to work out these coilovers. But the funny thing is the wheel wells are right next to where the shocks are. And on this new, and this is a base camp chassis. So on this new base camp chassis I'm building, I may experiment with spacing out those shock towers wider. If I don't have to cut out a floor, that would be great. But I do have the seats, and they actually, I can cut them out to make them work for the front. And the bench seat actually fits right in front of the shock tower on the back. So there's some opportunities there. I have just been running this Lexan interior just kind of willy-nilly in there, but all this is opened up to the floor. So part of me wants to glue in these seats that he printed off, bench seats. And then I'm kind of a sucker for fabric sometimes. Get it wet, like with a 1-to-1 mix of Elmer's and water, and then let it dry. And then it's hard. So like I could legit make a floor, kind of like a carpet over the top of the openings where the seats aren't, and close it off and keep the dust from getting in here. Because the windows got to get done. Now that I've got the weather stripping, and that I've gotten some headway on some other projects, it's time to, dude, my first 3D print build. Thank you, Kelly, for turning me on to this stuff. So yeah, so we made the hoods work and everything. Pretty cool. Base camp chassis with small little boom racing tires, super scale, the lights work, all the things. Super fun. I want to get it wrapped up though, because I always feel bad leaving things half done. So let's move this. And I'm going to bring up an oldie but a goodie, because this one you can't get it anymore, and it's hard to want to thrash on it because you can't replace it. What's up, Brian? So Axial 10.3 early Bronco. This is the guy from Scale Builders Guild print file for the Ford Ice, scaled up a little bit bigger. And then this is a surfboard. Can you dig the paint job, or it's blown out? There you go. I sanded it a bunch because I like to hide the facets. You still kind of see it, but I sanded it as much as I could. But this Bronco doesn't come with a driver. And so I was like, you know what, man? I painted this dude in 20 minutes while I was waiting for my wife to get home with my daughter so I could meet the dudes the other day. And it's an awful paint job. I did 20 minutes, watercolors, like just slapped it. But the surfboard looks good, man. And now there's a driver in here. So 3D printer to the rescue. And this grill is not stock either. I bought this, but it's a 3D print too. Pretty good one. So there's that. Dad, where you at? Bro, one of the things I'm most pumped about right this minute, though, is coming over right now. Work in progress. Come on. Come on. Still just getting it sorted. But this is super custom. Dad, I'm getting there. Super custom trimmer's truck. Y'all have no idea. I just painted this. It's not attached to the chassis, but I got it a little bit more figured out. Dude, I mean, I got the thrift side basically dialed. Now I know what I need. Thrift side, yep. The bumper is another box that comes out, goes back, and then back to the middle. There will be room for the license plate. And the very, very back is actually not supposed to still be metal. It's made out of wood and it's painted green in the movie. So this, again, it's not together. So this is just that 3D printed front end that I've had. But right now it fits perfect. There's no attachment method at all at the moment for the bench seat that I have in here. And there's a guy. It's Matt from Scale Builder. But I got a bench seat in there out of the Vanquish Fordyce, which is a Willys truck. I thought, how appropriate. So I scaled it up a little bit to fit in there friction tight. So I got a seat in there now. Some more finish work to do. This was legit. I had to go get seasoning for dinner. And I was like, I'll go to Meyer. And I got brown and I got baby blue. Dude, I spray painted brown on it. Still wet. I did blue right then. Totally okay with it not being all the way through. So there's still a ton of finish work to do. But the reason I wanted to get some color on this is because, dude, this was white and orange and gray. This was where all the work was. And I'm so pumped about it. So Kelly figured out the bed walls, but there was no floor. And we had a floor from something else that he cut the wheel wells out of and gave me the file. So I printed off a chunk of floor. And then the file that we had for the thrift side was not really made for doing what we're doing. So it was hard to work with. You couldn't print the whole thing, but little bits would come off. So the fenders were not part of it at all, but our little square boxy stuff that's part of the thrift side deal. We had those, but I still need to come up with the bumper, like the back end, which I have some of the bits, and then the bumper that comes all the way to here and steps it out again wider and comes around and basically leaves room for the license plate. But I'm over the moon. And Kelly had this was again like 3 colors a minute ago. But Kelly had a really good idea about the he's like, go look on Thingiverse for trailer fenders. I'm like, that's a good idea because they'll be individual already. So I found some files for trailer fenders. And at first, I printed off one this big. And I was like, this is going to be all right. Not quite big enough, but because the angle's wrong. So I relieved some material, as you can see, which allows you to make it more acute of an angle. So firstly, these are now going to be my inner fenders for life, make them whatever size I want, cut on them if I need to, who cares? And then modify, like you can see it's black in here. It's thin enough that I put flame to it, or I need a heat gun to it, and you can manipulate it. So then I was like, all right, I need bigger. So I printed off bigger ones. And you can see the angle on the orange is way more obtuse than it is on the fender now. It's way wider. So I relieved some material, heated it up. I knew these were right. These little blocks were right, and that I was going to go for it. So I made the angle fit there. Like, it's not bad at all. Like, if you look where the angles meet the blocky parts, it's dead on. And I was able to melt that enough to take the shape and then CA and stuff. So I already know there needs to be more material coming across here. But free trailer fenders. These are seriously, these are going to be inner fenders for any build that I do moving forward. I already have different sizes of them. You can cut them, you can do whatever you want to do. Like Kelly coming through with a serious idea. Because I didn't know what I was getting ready to fab them from scratch. I didn't know what I was going to do. And this, over the last 2 days, brought me up to snuff. Otherwise, this thing would have been looking exactly the same as it looked last show. So pretty over the moon. And last night, because I have more of the bed done now, I went and I had to move the whole axle again. So, and this is where I'm talking about getting in CAD and making some of my own bits. This cross member here, you see the chassis rail sticking out a little bit. Doesn't look like a big deal, but it is. I moved up. I slid that whole cross member up. I undid this mount for the leaves that's supposed to be up another couple screws and slid it down and just moving the axle forward. I still have a little bit of opportunity. I want to drop the truck, lower it still just about much, and I can do it. Um, but if I was proficient in fusion, I could be making what I want to make it happen. One thing that would solve my problem too, and make it where I don't have to reinvent the wheel all the time with the shackle mounts, is if I could simply make these leaf spring bolt spacers that are on the axles not so tall. And I could do that even now manually, but then the problem is the threads on the U-bolts are not going to go down that far. So that's part of it. But yeah, this is way stripped down now. And still super springy, stiff. But man, I got the paint on it today, and I was like, this is looking pretty snazzy right now. Yeah, Dad, I'm pumped. And so here's basically what it starts out like. I glued these on because I'm trusting that. And I even went back in the files and printed more of these off because they're pretty close. Like, to be legit and true, this size right here, this little thing is actually what the back box should be like. And then there's the bumper on the end of it. But another set of these, like I did on this, makes it work too, because again, the bumper, these look a little too wide, but we're going to live with it, I think. But the especially once I come out with the diamond plate, I got to go get some diamond plate now. They got diamond plate styrene, so that's probably what I'll do to make the rest of that. But I'm pretty happy with the way this is going right now. I feel like it's squared pretty good in the arches. Stuff sitting on the chassis. My only complaint is I think it's like just a hair too tall. Now I know it looks really big in the back, but if you watch the movie, it's a little bit exaggerated. But there's a filler piece that will carry on this bottom line here and the bottom line on this one and kind of fill in that big gap you're seeing. So, I mean, that's part of why it might look a little weird, but it is a little too tall still. Just son of a gun. Just barely though. Just barely too tall. But I've moved the shackles and the perches around, but I haven't lowered them. So I still can. So yeah, when that back tire fills in a little bit, it won't be so obnoxious. But not bad. I'll take it. I'll take it. And again, once that bumper's on there, and I'm making two of them. So if I screw this one up, I got another. I'll keep the screw up. But yeah, I think the color's working out. Even too. And then yeah, I got a driver in there. He's a little tall, but that's all right. I'll just print another one a little smaller. The ride height, Dad, you cool with that? Oh, I'm worried about it though. It really should be. Can I grab a hold of it? It ought to be like that. It does look good. And I mean, you have to find somewhere to stop. Like, really, I wish the wheels were narrower in, because then the fenders wouldn't have to be as big. But they look so stinking good when I put them on. Like, as I'm mocking it up and stuff. And how clean is the bottom? I mean, it's pretty clean. It's pretty sound. But I let that brown and blue kind of just commingle, so to say. I'm so pumped with this. It looks cool. It'll be time to put electronics in it pretty soon. I'm going to get it finalized on how I'm mounting things. I got to decide what I'm going to make for the battery too, how we're doing that. And then I got to 3D print a bunch of junk to put in the back. I want the gas cans. I want the luggage they got strapped to the side. I want all that mess. But yeah, the fenders have been something I've been dreading. And I pulled in the files Kelly had and was not able to retrieve them. They would come up in the file, but they would never preview in the slicer and allow you to print them. The axle could come back 3/16. It probably, let me see. It can. And the funny stuff is, I just moved. I moved. It was too far back last night, and then now it's too far forward. But that's the little minor tricks I can do with where I put the shackles. And if I drill new holes for where they mount, I can move it back without necessarily removing the the back one. The front one's perfect, really. And I moved the front one up a bunch to get that right. And it's worth it to almost adjust the axle than to mess with the truck proportions, because as weird as it's been, it's still fairly right on proportionally. And I did put bigger tires on it to look at it one time, Dad. Too big. These are the right size. But we'll get Steelies on there. And that's one thing I thought about maybe trying to find a file for, a beadlock jig, because it would be super handy having one to tighten these back together on the clamp ring, so you can actually set these little tiny screws or bolts that it takes to come on there. And I think with these tires, they may sit inside a little bit more too. Yeah, dude, you're about, that's probably it too. It's not a lot, but a little bit'll do it. But I had it so right with those little blocks and the fenders. I was like, yeah. And I'm going to take some more looks and see how the fender meets the bed itself. If that's like smooth, like filleted in, or if it's like what I got. Because if it's smooth, I will legit caulk that some again in and fill it and paint again. More sanding to do on the body part. And man, the hood's already part of the structure. I don't know if I'm going to cut the hood out on this. I was thinking about if we do have junk in the back, that there may be a long piece of luggage that has a battery in it. You know what I mean? That plugs in back there. Be kind of slick. Right in the bed of the truck. Shut the lid. There's the battery. You don't have to take the chassis, the body off or open the hood. It'll keep everything nice and sound that way. Are there stake pockets? Where were they at? On the inside? I've watched some of the movie on YouTube, like little clips, but I have not seen the whole movie. Where's the stake pockets at? On the inside? Outside. On the top rails that are angled? No way. I know there's a gas inside top rail. We may not get that. I haven't even seen it. And all the messing around I'm doing, looking. Inside top rail. In the angle part? Dang. Huh. Not on this one, homie. In maybe not a so distant future, if I can learn how to use Fusion, yes. There's bed supports on it. The only one I'm missing is there's one little one in the middle, right on top of the which I'm gonna put in. I have them, I can cut off something else. So see there and here has it. There's supposed to be a short one right there. You can kind of see it there. Yeah. And then back on the back side. And there's supposed to be one center on top. Man, even that paint looks good. There's supposed to be one right there on this middle of the fender, which I am putting on still. You can see the angle of the profile on the outside of the bed. Yeah, those were supports for that. It's almost like a corbel. There's supports for that funky angle. It might be easier to see it on this. I gotta melt that string on. But yeah. I mean, the fidelity's pretty dang good. And again, this was a model that was about this big. Cully did a good job to get it this far. I printed the whole thing because I couldn't get it into pieces. So I had the tires, the pumpkin, leaf springs, the chassis, and it was a S show. None of it, there was a bunch of it that you could visually see it in the project, but when you tried to prepare it for printing, it wasn't even there. Weird. Totally weird. Yeah, I'm over the moon about this. And I think the green tailgate will be fun, that's made out of wood. I could just leave the stock one on there and paint it green But I could also just get 2 pieces of wood to emulate. It's like tube built. I can emulate the, you can see that recess kinda. I could emulate what the stock one is. And dude, I'm thinking they only use the thrift side in like the first movie. I saw there was a video game out on trimmers, and it wasn't a thrift side. I was disappointed. They had same paint job, same everything. It was a video game, but they did not have the thrift side. It was um, a regular one. All right. Little 4S 64 millimeter Viper looks like a good time. I didn't look at the price. Did you guys see that today? You guys want to see it right now? Or should we try to, what's up, Mountain RC? Or should I try to find, let me try to find a, Beadlock jig. All right, I want to do some stuff here on the background. And see if this one works. This seems like the only one I could find before. I'm telling you though, it's helpful. So let's download the files. Download all files. Downloading in 3, 2, 1. It's downloaded. I'm going to open them up. Try not to lose the stream, which I could easily do. There we go. StreamYard. Guys, you want to see the Viper, John? All right. Let me start this file printing first, and we'll do it. So let me get this going. I need to do some stuff. I need to pull up my bamboo stuff so I can share the window, and then I'll do what I got to do. And we'll start one going. Here we go. And what's up, Mike Bird? So let's gotta share window. Perfect. Nice. So you guys can see what's happening. And I want to be able to see the comments. All right, cool. So you guys can see what I got going on. This is what I just finished printing. At the end of the day, at the end of work, it is it's the bench seat that I put in Dad's trimmer's truck. So now we're going to, while I'm in here, I'm going to go ahead and pick orange and load it. The orange PLA, because for a beadlock machine, if it's black or dark, I'll lose it. So we'll go ahead and select. I've got 2 rolls of filament in the AMS. We'll go ahead and select orange, hopefully. So I can go to home, and I can see some of my projects I've done. I'm going to create a new project. Sure, save it. Save it. Yep. And here it is. So now I'm going to hit the add button and see if I can get to the new download right now that I did. I'm not seeing it, so I'll have to drag and drop more than likely. Yeah, not there either. So that's okay. I'll drag and drop. Beadlock Universal. It's a folder. You probably can't see that. Beadlock tool. Drag it onto the plate. And the hub. Drag it onto the plate. And I can move them around. So now that I've done that, if I want to make, can you guys see okay what I'm doing? Yeah, you can. That's so cool. All right, so I can make this plate small. I can make it big, but we're going to go with the size that it came with. And I'm going to, so I've got this one selected right there. What's up, Brazen Brett? So I'm going to check out the scale's 100%. It's 63 and a half by 63 by like 10.16 tall. Makes sense for a beadlock to me to be that big. But just for giggles, I'm going to make one a little bit smaller. So check this out. So let me, I'm not going to scale these at all. So I'm going to right click it, clone it. Just one. So there's the other one. Right click it, clone it. Just one. And so these over here are the ones that I'm going to change the size. Crank the speed up. Maybe I will. If it's a tool, though, I don't want it to look like a piece of stuff. Well, before we do that, I'll see how long it's going to take. All right, so let's scale this down to, you know what, let's do this one because this is the one that I actually have more of a reference for, it feels like, on the size. So that was 65 about, and we'll make it a little bit smaller. Let me look at this beadlock here and see what it is. Yeah, I'm going to make a little one at like 55. So let's go 55. And so that did it, that adjusted it accordingly. So 86.65 scale. So now I can go to this one. Let's see what I say it was. 86.65. So now I go to this one and do it up here. 86.65. Hit enter. and watch it apply. So now I've got a small jig and a more standard kind of 1/9 size jig. So just for giggles, let's see if any of this needs. Nope, everything's good. Auto oriented or anything. Let's see. Is this gonna leave it the way it is? It just flipped it upside down. That's fine. So we'll auto orient this one. This does it the way. That's actually super smart. I'm glad I did that. This makes it the way the printer wants it. It's kind of the most efficient use of it all. So now what I'll do is just preview it really quick. And this is where we get to find out how long it's going to take. 1 hour and 16 minutes. No supports, no nothing. Dude said crank it up. So if I don't like this, I can go back into it. I'll go into prepare and go to, guys, I'm brand new at this. Go to, let's select the big one. I think I need to go to global, right? Let's go to global. Yeah, here we go. And speed. Leave the bottom layer speed alone, then 500 on the rest. So what are you saying, Brett? This is a fun experience. So what do you think about these settings? You can select all, then click speed. I'm sorry, bro. I don't know how to do that. Yeah, it does show you how much PLA you're going to use and everything. Select all and then click speed. So right click. What am I doing, brother? You are where you need to be now. Do I need to just change every one of these numbers to 500? Is that what you were saying? I'll try it. I'll do it. The travel speed, that is already at 500. With this thing shaking off the table, dog. Scroll back up to the top of that tab. Okay. And then we'll get this going. I was going to just start it, but if he's got a fast way, that's cool. Just everything. Just start at the top, initial layer, and so on. Initial layer infill. Like some of this, I'm not exactly sure what it does. Speed of initial layer, except the solid infill part, parameter name, blah. Initial layer infill, speed of solid infill part of initial layer, parameter name, blah. Outer wall, inner wall, perimeter infill. Make it 500. Fine. And then infill. The sparse infill or the internal solid infill? Both? Yeah, it's PLA. Okay. I'll have to watch this video back if I want to check. Actually, man, what I'll do if I get screwed up is I'll just import one of Night Customs files again and go with the G codes. Top surface, sparse. So not the internal. All right, one more question. Top surface, Brett, I need you now. Bamboo, dude. X1C. Sick. Fred bought one last week. You won't have internal solid infill on those models. Top surface leave alone. Okay, cool. Then let's do it. Oh, here's the problem. I just did it to that one. Or is this the whole print now? Oh, it's the whole print now. Yay. Awesome. Okay, preview. Let's see how fast this goes now. 1 hour and 10 minutes. What do we lose? 20, 30 minutes? 79 cents. Let's go. All right. So now guys, I'm brand new. Plug and play 3D printing for a week and a half. I will say slice all, and then I will say print plate and send. And that may or may not work. I just keep doing stuff till it does. So let's make sure I'm good over here. Nice. So we will be able to see, and whoever asked if this is throwing stars, you can click the little refresh button. If you don't like speeds, you can just click the little refresh button to go back to old speeds or close program, discard changes. Right on. I think it'll be fine for what it is. And I'll print another one. So let's see. There we go. Send. I didn't see the send that I wanted to see, though. That's it. Okay. I want orange. So that's what we're doing. And then a couple wing nuts and a couple all thread, or you can just use a bolt and a wing nut, and you don't have to fetch all thread. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it is doing things, and it's not going to be exciting for a while, but it's getting ready. It's getting warmed up. The bed is preheating. It's going to do a first layer and stuff like that. Thanks, Brett. So yeah, we save a little time cranking it up. I've been working with basically the defaults, the way everything comes since I got it. So we'll have this going. We'll set up the other camera, and it's time to do links tonight. We showed everybody the trimmer's truck thrift side bed and the front cab that we're working on. The fenders are a little big, but that's okay. I got 2 of these I'm making, and it's custom. Just stand and stare at mine watching it rip. Don't thank me yet. Is this gonna shake the thing off the table, bro? Are you going to Proline by the Fire, man? Surely you are. Isn't that this weekend? Watching it rip. I've not asked mine to go that fast yet. I don't think. I mean, like I said, I'm just doing defaults business. But while that's getting going, rubber feet, no Proline for you. Did you get the anti-vibration feet? I didn't, but I thought about getting them. Mandarin orange. But I'm definitely pretty pumped about having something to do. Help me with my beadlocks, man. All right. It is time to dial in the phone. Which is actually a better camera sometimes. You turned down the heat on yours, Bill? I've not had mine holler at me about doing anything like that yet. Maybe one time, and I opened the door. I think it asked me to. So it's getting ready to like bed level kind of stuff right now. All right, so I need to invite myself to the show. Hold on a minute. Fred just ordered his on, was it Sunday? I don't know if he's got his going now or not, but Fred clicked the link, man. He got the X1C and a whole bunch of goodies. Appreciate that. Don't thank him yet, he says. All right, so I sent myself an invitation. Turning down the volume. This is low fidelity. But that's how we do it. Witness the strength of street life. Well, we'll check back up on the printer. It's not doing much. bed leveling, bed leveling, bed leveling down on the farm. So let's add this. And we can always come back to the other. I need to scoot over, don't I? That's fine. I really should show you the trimmer's truck now. Got a lot of finish work to do on it, but pretty pumped about it. The bed was some of the most exciting part so far for me. Really, mostly out of scratch. I gotta these gaps here on the back side have to get something in them, so it should be the same depth as that. Okie doke. All right. Oh yeah, I'd like to figure out cockpits for sure, man. If somebody can figure it out. Okay, base camp build. Episode 4, links. We built that the first night. We skipped the shocks and built them last show. We got our transmission, skid plate business. But what is now is the D bag. Links. There it is. My rod ends in there as well. Yep. Drive shafts. There's my pinion. So yeah, I'm just going to build them to spec right now, even though I know they're not going to be long enough for what I'm wanting to do. But that's all right. That's okay. We're going to build our links anyway. We predicted 5 weeks. Oh, wow. Is that a wasp or a bee? It's a wasp. You're fitting to die. Hit it with some kicker. You know what I'm saying? All right. So this is where it is nice having your 10:25 time check. Well, first things first is we could easily throw in all of our pivot balls. But what we'll do, we're just going to do what it says first. So we'll lay this out. Should just be one of these. And most of it doesn't matter, but there are a few ends. Do you use a drill for the link ends? No, I don't think I do. I don't remember if I did last time or not. Don't want to lose these dudes, that's for sure, though. Brake cleaner for the bug. These are all the same though. So I'm just going to press them all in while we sit here and chat about life. I wish they went on more, like all the way. Fred, what are you talking about? What's going on, Brian? Who's making a Cessna 152 right now? What are you talking about? This is so much nicer, though. I'm so glad I got these. There's probably better ones out there, but this will work for me. Love it. Fourth week of the base camp build. We predicted 5. I think it's going to be more than 5. Keep starting a little bit later. I intend to go an hour on the base camp and then just kind of BS the rest. I know John wants to see go shopping a little bit at Horizon on the web and look at the new plane and the new Losi little mini B. And seriously, Macaulay, what are you talking about exactly? Cessna 152. Who sells a 152? These are team associated shock pliers. So when you need to put a shock shaft in there without marring it up, that works for that. And then also, as you can see, pivot balls. So these are for sale at anybody that sells team associated. I got these at Horizon, but yeah, these are team associated. And I race their cars too, so I was like, this will be fine. And it does what I need it to. So I just built shocks last week, and I was waiting till I had these pliers so I don't mar up my shafts. I've done it before in the past with my needle nose, but I always felt guilty doing it. It's a great way using needle nose or something that mars up the shock shaft. It's a super great way to rip up your O-ring, so you leak. No, Brett, not really. I've raced there a little bit, but at the beginning of the summer, but not so much lately. I was in there a couple weeks ago to get some styrene and probably CA or something. But that's it. Yeah, totally right tool for the job. You haven't been there since I left. They're doing their thing, man. They're still going. There's going to be some oval racing indoors there this winter. And once winter happens, I'll go race more. It's when it's nice out, there's other things I want to do. I raced 8 scale there a little bit this year. I got a truggy. So that was cool. But I haven't really been worried about, like, in the wintertime and there's nothing going on hardly, like, I'm all about going there Tuesday night and racing, or even Saturday and racing buggy or short course. But I've been crawling a lot with Kelly and Kirk, and those guys fly too. So that's what I've been doing. And then 3D printing found me because of Kelly. He made me a Land Rover. I put it together and I was like, man, this is fun. There's a lot of problems to solve, and I enjoyed that. I put a Land Rover, basically a boom body, but 3D print style. I put it on a base camp build, and there's a lot of fun problems to solve with that. And then I'm like, oh yeah, pretty slick at this stuff. With the planes, I never have to mess with them. They're just too bloody easy. Putting them together, flying them is what's cool about them, but I like working on this stuff. I got this big old desk I just refinished and put legs on. I'm working this room all the time. Apparently, I'm still on the clock. I got dudes talking to me about shipments. I don't have anything to do with that. Okay, so most of this is really no big deal, but if you do bottom them out and tighten them all the way, what happens is you'll be the wrong size. So I made sure that I did everything right when I did this before. And so if it says 59 millimeters between the shoulders on the connectors, then that's what I made sure I did. And if once you get into the stuff that's like in pairs, get one right and then the other one as close to that as you can. So there's a couple links that are different. And so there's a really skinny one. It's probably like a steering rack or something. And then there's a couple with they turn up a little bit. There's like 4 of these that turn up their nose, so to say. I think 4 of them. So pull those so you don't make a mistake. Looking on my neck for a wasp. Okay, no. Good. So these are fine. That's fine. Yeah, there's the other one. 1, 2, 3. That's got a bend on it, so that's a little different. So does that. I haven't flown the 262 yet, man. So I don't know yet. But I like the F86, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna like the 262. It's hard to get filming going. Might just do it myself, I think. So I'm fairly certain that I do this kind of deal when it's time to, what did I do before? I used some janky screwdriver. There's a drill bit. I'd rather use this little dude. Just something. And then 59.5 is what they want. And I can't remember if any of these were reverse thread or not at this point. I can't remember. I'll find out in a sec. And then I just did the old fashioned way last time I built these. I was probably on a Zoom hanging out with people. But yeah. I know sometimes if I have any trouble at all, I will heat things up. Yeah, these are reverse thread, which it doesn't tell you. You'll have a heck of a time trying to get it if you don't just go for the reverse. What's up, M Shag? Sherman, man, that DX9 is a solid radio. Let's see how close I got to 59.5. Shall we? What do they say? Nailed it. I nailed it. Don't need these, but those were awesome. All right, we're turning the page, friends. Turning the page. Nice, him Shag. 7 more to go. All right. These are not that one. My new, that's a whole lot of stretch to do with calipers when I got the exact deal right there on the paper. Okay. But yes, could you imagine stretching them? I don't know. 104.7, and that's where they want the shoulder. That is the reverse thread side. Yeah, I know there's a deal. Let's see how the 3D print's doing real quick, shall we? Let's bring this in too. Just take a quick peek. There we go. It's moving right along, isn't it? Check that out. Moving right along. Bluetooth, biggest advantage. Oh, what, on the new radios? I very rarely need the Wi-Fi stuff. Oops, wrong way. And this one's going to be the correct direction. Righty tighty. All right, so that buffered out already. That's cool. We'll go back to this and that. Yeah, I got to figure out how to use those first, Philip. They're new to me. .7. Will it even go that far? I like the NX stuff personally. So I don't know how to use these, but let's figure it out. So 104.7. Is that a fine tune? What's that? Oh, that locks it, right? Close enough. 104.68. So I know I'm doing this the wrong way, probably. Let's see. I'm just a little bit long. What's this part? Oh, sick. 104.68. Yeah, just a hair long. Let's see this side. And it's not that ridiculous that you get it, but it is kind of fun seeing, especially since I've never used anything like this before. Oh yeah, that is on. No wiggle room at all. All right, so that one's done. Now this is the weird little skinny one. So don't need these at all for that. And I was correct in that it's these funny ones. Now, my needle nose. I need to go get them. Yeah, it's definitely more accurate than lining up on the paper. Although if you don't have these, the paper is sufficient. I think I left them outside, which is ridiculous. Oh, these will work. So there's no good way to hold these because there's no hole in the middle. But there's a flat spot right there. Are these lefty? It's a lefty as well, isn't it? I might have heated these ones up. I can't remember now. I guarantee I did. Those pliers suck for this. A little bit of heat sometimes seems to help quite a bit. Hey, what's going on with the Jets right now? Is that game over yet? Somebody tell me. This is where I need to chuck it in a damn drill. 324 the Jets? Wow. Dude, they don't win usually, do they? Yeah, we're not playing around on this. Now, the interesting part is this is reverse thread style. This one is. .62 millimeters is what they want this one. Am I wrong? Is it regular? It is. Regular thread. Maybe it's this one that's reversed then. Patriots are losing. Too bad, says Keith. This is the reverse thruster, the reverse thread one side. Philip did service today. The Losi F100. Nice. All right. So curiosity, 62. Let's try to get it right before we get out the calipers. Shall we? Let's see. Which one was that? Let's say we're like bottomed out. .62. That's what it looks like to me. Let's see. I thought these moved by themselves. They don't. Okay. So 62 on the dot. Right there. 62 on the dot. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see how close I was. So hold on, we'll fix this. Loosen this. How cool. 61.8. I was pretty damn close. $61.7577. I can almost make it go 6.81, 61.81. Good enough. All right. So the next one is 69.9, and it's short. But I don't have a short one. Wait a minute now. How am I missing one? We did the first page. The first page was a 59.9, which we got. Then we had the long one, Long John Silver's. Then we had Oddball McGraw. And then we got, there it is, 69.9. All right, I was freaking out. $69.9. Go triple time. Reverse. $69.9. And they show in the book leaving some thread showing. So that's what we'll do. And we're stopping short of bottomed out. That's what I mean, guys. If you just bottom them out, you're going to be too short. So this says 69.9. I think I'm short by just a little. Let's see, shall we? It's supposed to be 69.9. It's 69.94. I'm just curious. Let's see what a half turn does. Half turn. And that's lining up, you know, where they're basically, you know, in a straight line with each other, which is how I'm sure they intend it. All right, 69.92. Half a turn changes it to, come on, man, 69.58. Kind of is what it is, though, unless you want to go crazy. 69.9. And I'm at 69. .6. I'm cool with that. All right, that's fun. And then here we do 2 of them. And again, these are regular links, and they're 78.8. Nobody wants to watch links. That's cool. I get it. All right, Sherman, see you later, man. Base camp build. How many weeks is it going to take? This is 4. And even in the book, they show when there's a gap, like where they don't thread them out all the way. So that's good to know. Because then you can stop short. And if one goes on regular, then you know the other one's reverse. And vice versa. Vice reversa. Now we're going to use a 1.5 to do that job. Not necessary, but we'll take it. And let's see. 78.8. Let's see how we did, ladies and gentlemen. Square these up. Okay. All right, old calipers. 79. What? 0.55. Fine. I don't mind. Except for I think this is the loose one. Yep. All right, let's do this again. $78.74. And it's supposed to be 78.8. It's 78.69. I'm cool with that. So now you just make the other one this size. You don't need calipers for this, man. I mean, I am just tripping using them. You can look at the threads and see the angle, and that lets you know which direction it needs to go. Thread wise. So threads, I'm looking at this, threads angled this way. Righty tighty. Lefty loosey. Now they're angling that way, the threads. This way, towards me. Top out is a lefty, top in, righty. Tighty, that is. That is fine. Let's see for giggles. 78.58. $78.79, 78.97, 79. Let's go half turn and see what happens. It is not that critical, dudes. Nice. 78.53, 78.74. Yeah, it's close. You couldn't tell without the calipers. Barely. All right. Let's take a peek at the print. Let's take a peek at the print. It's getting there. 14 minutes left. It's about 80% done. %, done, 13 minutes left. You don't need my hands on this link business the rest of the way. We can watch the print. All right, next page. Taking our time, getting it done. And then it's getting to be swoop-de-doop-de links pretty soon. Swoop-de-doop-de. And there's two of them. 85.5ers. That's those. And that's those. And it shows it. I guess I will show you. So you see how one angles up, angles down, right? So that's us being into these. Now, this has a bend on this one. And this has a up on that. That has a bend. This has a up. 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 Shoot. I haven't messed up yet. What are these? Regular? I'm so confused. That's right. And that's right. That's right. And that's right. I don't get it. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. And that's right. What's the deal? Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to figure out where I messed up. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. These are a little different. I don't know why. Was I supposed to use them on something else? I bet I must have been. Not on those. Not on those. On this one. This one, a 4.7, is supposed to have them. These. That's what's up. Hey, Fred. Yeah, I discovered the error in my way. So this one of 4.7 has slightly bent ends on it, and I missed it. So we'll do it again. We'll get it right. I mean, honestly, you could probably live with it, but I mean, if they go to the trouble to make it this way, I'm going to go to the trouble to make it this way as well. Righty loosey, absolutely weird. But we figured that out. So now nothing's weird on the last 4. We got it all right. We need these 2 that are coming off of here to make complete the pair so they match on the next page. And now we're going to check in on the print since we've kind of sorted out some of this. Check on this. There. Yeah, Fred, you printing? I'm making a beadlock deal right now. Jig. And we're 93% done, I think it says. All right, 104.7. And again, depending on what this rig ends up being, I may be making adjustments, stretching out drive shafts and links anyway. But at least we'll start from a good place. Nice. $104.7. Let's test it out. Let's just test it out. Fred, I got a new set of calipers. I never had any before in my life. But I thought it would make sense that I had some. $105.21. We can't abide with that. We'll go full turn on this. $104.73. Good enough for me. Ha. Okay. Now we can go fix this other page. Now I have two regular ends that I need for down here. Regular, 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 regular for those dudes. And these get the opposing angle bits. So let's do this first. It's fine. Reverse thread on this. I almost grabbed the wrong stuff. Reverse thread on this one. They want to be 98.6. Nice, Fred. Yeah, it looks like the Jets are going to win, which is weird for them. Isn't it? Isn't it weird for them? How many weeks is it going to take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Tootsie Pop? That's what I want to know. So here's a question, 14, 16 of you. Next kit, when this base camp is done, I wonder what we should do. I could easily do, because I kind of need one, RC four-wheel drive TF2 long wheelbase chassis for my Willie's wagon, which is in the wings when I'm done with this trimmer's truck or two. I think the Trail Finder 2 would be great for that. 98.6. Let's see how close I got, because it's fun too. I wish it was the other way, bro. That's fine. $99.30. Can't have that. Such a nerd, dude. It really doesn't matter. Element, yeah, I don't like their differentials, dude. They're too bloody chunky for me. That's my only thing. That's my only problem with them. And this looks like it needs to be tightened up. Hey, the print's done. Orange, so maybe I won't lose them. That's cool. Half track. Nah. It'd be cool for playing in the snow, I suppose. 99.04. How it can't go tighter. I mean, honestly, I can make it go there if I put tension on it. Yeah, that's 99.0. We're cool with that. You just did their V2 Builders Kit element. Yeah, I may have to try one. But yeah, I'm wondering what to do next. I want to do a boom racing kit, and I want to buy. Yeah, but I don't want a half track. You can buy a half track. Hyosho makes them, right? Those snowcat things, and then you could make one off of that, I think. That's cool. Build one. When I get tired of this stuff, then I'll maybe do something with tracks. I never really cared about the tracks. There's some tracks. I mean, Traxxas has it as well. Their TRX4, there's one that has them, that comes on them. You can buy the kits to put them on also. But yeah, I'm thinking of a boom racing Rover, super scale leafer. I'm thinking of a TF2 long wheelbase from RC four-wheel drive because I need a chassis. Yeah, Snowcat. Maybe it would be cool to do one of them. I'm sure it would be. You get some wild bodies on one, I think would be fun. But I wouldn't need it to be a half track. I suppose that'd be cool. I mean, Matt did one already. It looked pretty cool. Let's just go super tight. But yeah, Boom Racing Rover, TF2. I'm not going to probably do another base camp right away. Okay. $98.8. That's close enough. Close enough. Now it's time for these weird rows right here. Yeah. Element Builders Kit. I need to. I wouldn't mind doing some other team associated stuff. I mean, that's what Element is. Associated. I wouldn't mind doing an. I kind of want to try their oval car. They re-released an oval car, and I think they have an oval kit, don't they, right now? So yeah, that's one thing too. It's like, it doesn't always have to be a crawler. This Thursday thing, I'm willing to keep doing it, you know. I think if people want to see it. I think it may not be the greatest. I haven't built a Traxxas kit. Yeah. I haven't built a Traxxas kit. I have a couple, but I haven't built one. Some more Tamiya kits, M-Shag says. We'll pull these prints off in a minute. What, the Element's a good kit? I drove the Enduro, Sendero, or whatever it was, and it wasn't awful. I didn't like the looks of the diffs, though. I mean, I could build another Vanquish. I haven't done that for a minute. The Traxxas. Yeah, I got a couple Traxxas crawlers. I thought they were awesome. They're pretty good. I don't really want portals if I can help it, but it's not the end of the world. For these scale trucks, I don't want portals. But I mean, if you're going coilover on them, they're built up anyway. But definitely, like, I don't want portals and leafs together. That's for sure. All right, so this is they're opposite each other, like they're supposed to be, going different direction. Did I nail it? 85.5. And to me, a kit would be cool, man. I don't know. You know, in the winter, which is coming, I don't know what I'd rather have, like a race rig or something that can get off road or what. 85.8. It's supposed to be 85.5. We're cool with that. We're cool with that. Let's see. This needs to come a little bit. One more. And then it's drive shafts. What time is it? 2.5 hours. We're going to just do the links. I don't think drive shafts are happening. They're easy, but I don't think they're happening yet. I know, well, but we will see what's next. I think after that, it's starting to do skid plate stuff. And it's a little clumsy, some of that. But we're going to get to a point where I want to do some design, maybe not design, but think up the fab. An hour and 11 minutes. Think up the fab. Thanks, Dad. Think about the some of the opportunities to put shock towers in different places. Basically, just widen it out on this base camp build that I'm doing, because I think it can be done. And that's if I can figure out this fusion program, which I'll do. I never thought in a million years I'd give a rip about CAD, and here I am learning it on purpose on my own. But it's cool. I also am the kind of guy who can make it from a license plate. So don't get it twisted. I was really ready to do the license plate stuff for the fenders on Trimmer's truck. It's not perfect, but it's close. They're a little bit long, but I think if I can roll over, they're a little wide to me, the fenders. If I can roll them this should fit in there. If I can roll them, draw shapes, extrude. What I want to do is drag stuff in and alter it, slice it, cut it into bits a little bit is some of what I need to know how to do. I want to just 3D scan some stuff and rip it. Just make more of it, but alter it, like cross members and things like that. Like there's so much I've done to this FMS Jimny chassis that if I were a little bit slicker, dude, I could really, I mean, I'm able to customize it now, but it's kind of the hard way, if that makes sense. Blender, existing mesh. Well, if it's already sliced, I don't want to mess with it. But like, if I can make it off of a legit, like take a picture of something. 85.74. $85.78. If I relax, 7.3. I'll take it, bro. The links are done, dogs. Off. Neat. Oh, it turns on automatically when you do stuff. Well, that was a fun little $25 deal. It's supposed to be stainless steel. We'll see. I mean, I'm not going swimming with it or anything, but I am officially an engineer now. So the drive shafts are not too bad. I'm not doing them though right now. And then of course you put them on transmission, and then you set it aside because you're back to this stuff where now it's hunt down the brackets and start assembling in preparations to go for the skid plate, which I mean that's a whole lot of linking going on, you know what I mean? But I think we can get through that next time. So that will be show 5. I think we're 7 shows in on this job. And I'm not cheating. I will not work on this truck without you. I don't know why, but that's what I decided. And there is a little bit of adjustability, it looks like, to go shorter wheelbase. But if anything, I want to go longer. And I made it longer by stretching out. I changed the links on that Rover to make it work. But like this stuff here, like these shock towers, that's the front ones. And here's the rear ones. Why not space them out? Fun stuff. And then, of course, I won't put the shocks where they tell me. So that is that. We're going to pack this back up. We're going to pull the print in a second as well. So in the meantime, everything's going back in the box as it always does. Until next time, we are working on the base camp build 1 week at a time. Help me think, Clementine, of what to do next. What kit do I get to buy? And the bodies I print will help dictate what that may be. Axial Base Camp, ladies and gentlemen. Going to, yeah, E-Flight Viper 64, dude. Came out today. So we are going to go ahead and pull this print. I'm going to just remove that from the screen altogether. We don't need me anymore here. I don't know. We'll leave it here for the print. There it is. So I printed 2 off. That big one's 100%, and the little one is 86 point whatever. But basically, I wanted 50 millimeters on this. So I try not to touch the print bed if I can help it, because I don't want oils and stuff on it. So I'll twist a little bit out here, concave it, convex it. There you can see they're basically loose. I don't usually print all the way out at the edge anyway. So there's this, that one, and that goes with that, and that one's loose. And then here's the test extrusions right here. And if you're patient, they'll come off in almost one fell swoop. But if I haven't had much trouble with bed adhesion, generally everything I'm printing stays pretty good. But I've had it a little bit, and all I do is clean the plate. I haven't used any hairspray, any kind of glue, nothing yet. But I do try to not touch the top of it. So now, this is the big one. And of course, the hub isn't going to be on it. But there's usually a tire there. And this gives you access through these slots to be able to actually mess with the stinking bolts, which is really nice. And you can twist it. So that's the stock size 100% one that will also hold the tire a little bit as well. And then here's the back side for, all thread, or a big nut will come through, and then, you just clamp this stuff together. And this gives you a way to hold it if you need to. That actually is a 12 millimeter hex, so it will fit like that if you want also, which is pretty sweet. Helps keep it central. And there you go. And this guy's files on Thingiverse tells you what size all thread he recommends. It doesn't matter if it does the jobs. Anyway, I thought I'd print 2. I printed a smaller one because I could, and I just wanted to show you guys. I may never ever use the small one, but I thought, well, maybe I don't want it on the rubber. So, and with 4 slots, even if it's a 5 lug deal, you get 3 or 4 on. You don't need this anymore anyway for the last one, but you can rotate it. And of course, now the hex is not, it doesn't apply anymore, but it doesn't matter because all you need is whatever, something wing nut. Again, you could go like this, wing nut, carriage bolt, whatever, and you can tighten these up. The texture plate is great. That's the only one I've used. I have a smooth one. I haven't used it yet. So yeah, I just got to go out and fetch some hardware in my garage, and these prints came off a million times better than the picture of this did look on Thingiverse. The actual pictures of the thing he had, they actually look so garbage. That's why I didn't print them before. because I found them days ago. But Brett came on, told me to crank up my settings, cranked up the speed, and the print still looks fantastic. And you guys saw me auto orient the print, which printed it like this with these bevels up, which eliminates the need for any kind of supports. If I were to have done it this way, it would have been trouble. So yeah, the printed or the textured print plate has this texture to it, obviously, and it doesn't bother me at all. Those came out really nice. Solid. There's no infill. These are solid. There was nothing hollow about it. And when you drag it in to the preview, after you've prepared it in Bamboo Studio, you drag it into the preview. There's a green line on one side and a green line on the bottom. You can drag through each layer and see. So you could actually see what the infill is or whatnot. But yeah, this will be cool for smaller, little more scale tires, like some of this Boom Racing stuff or 155s or whatever. And this will be good for everything else. We are going to exit this dude from the room because the echo kills me. Banned from studio. We'll just kick you from the studio. Kick you out. Dad, thanks for the super chat. Well, guys, I think this show is super fun, and I don't care that nobody comes. We're just going to keep doing it so I can keep it tight on Sunday night where we don't kill the dudes on the truck stuff. So we're going to move this. We're going to end on the trimmer's truck a little bit. What filament you need for a frame? Chassis rails? Probably some kind of carbon fiber stuff. I watched a video today where the guy was saying the PLA with the carbon fiber or the glass in it was more gimmick than anything else. I don't know who to believe on some of that. For prototyping, whoever cares. I think what is it? Is it nylon that I'm thinking about would be a pretty decent choice. PETG is strong but has a fair bit of flex. Jimny, FMS Jimny chassis stripped down. Polycarbonate is the gold standard in your opinion? Yeah, like these little black bits and shackles and things like that. I think I'd survive. Yeah, some of that stuff, what do they call it? Hydrophobic or some shit, where it's got to be dried almost as it's getting fed. But I also am a firm believer in if I gotta paint the thing in epoxy when I'm done or something, I'm not totally against it. All right, man. This was super exciting to see kind of shape up today. It really was. Let's see. Trimmer's truck, dude. Fred, did you see this? That's right, Fred. Bro. Fred, you see this? I got the fenders and some I'm getting there. More than I have been there at all so far. Um, it's hard to tell because it's super dark filament for the seats, for the bench seat, but it is the Vanquish Fordyce, which is a Willys truck, seats. And I had one in there before, and it is kind of baggy, and I heated it up and I stretched it out and I made it go. But I printed one today. I sized it up bigger, and bro, it fits so good in the shell that I don't even need to glue it in. Yeah, so nice. And I can print a dash and make it fit also. But yeah, I'm pretty over the moon about this. And dude, until right before dinner, you guys remember I had sanded on this a bunch, and then right literally minutes before, I mean, dinner was cooking and she forgot a spice that you gotta have. So I'm like, I'll go get it. And I went and bought paint at Meyer. I got brown, like rust, and like baby blue. I painted it all at the same time. And then came and got it. So it was gray and white and orange and then this other color, and you couldn't really tell. So I'm super pumped about it, man. It's really coming together. So, and it came together really big. Once Kelly had the smart idea to look on, because I hadn't really looked at fenders yet because I was trying to slice them off of the, dude, I bought an $80 file for this trimmer's truck. It was this big, the truck, not a model for RC at all, because I wanted the real deal. Yeah, dude, I need Val and Earl, right? Valentine and Earl. Virtual smorgasbord or something. I saw some clips of that movie last night. Apparently they made a few of those movies, but yeah. Kelly wasn't able, the file was weird. Everything would look good, but then when you go to print it, the fenders weren't there. Some parts were there. The way things connect was weird. I'll show you guys a time lapse sometime because I printed the whole back end half the way it comes. Wheels, leaf springs, chassis rails. The fenders should have been in there, but they weren't. So Kelly had a really great idea. That look at trailer fenders files. And so that's what I did. And these are way wider than what's on here now, but I just relief cut like this. You can see the wedges in it. They basically were like this stock, and I cut them so I could make them do what I wanted to. And then I made bigger ones and did that because that's what I needed here. So now inner fenders for any build, I'll print some more. Use these, whatever. So cool, man. Because I've bought inner fenders that were nothing fancy. They were someone else's 3D print. And like, man, I was paid too much for that. Yeah, we were scaling up. So the parts should have got fatter, you would think, right? I mean, this thrift site thing was not made for RC at all. It was a model desktop whatever. And it is weird. So that's what I did for 2 of my free evenings, was try to um it was totally broken. So Kelly couldn't get it to work, I couldn't get it to work. I did finally get to split it into halves where I just printed you sh I'll show you guys the time lapse. I don't know, maybe I can show it to you. Hold on a minute. Bro, you'll see what I mean. Hold on. Yeah, $80 file, and I can't work with it. But Kelly did a great job getting me this stuff to begin with, and then once I got a printer, what he gave me didn't have a floor, didn't have all kinds of stuff. It was an absolute mess, but it was the right bones. My fenders are a little too wide, but they'll look better once I get the rest of it built out here on the back side with the bumpers and stuff. And if I'm proportionally fine, but my fenders are a little big, I might be able to heat them up and round them over a little bit, but I don't want to mess with a good thing too much. For first go at this stuff, I'm pretty tickled. So, yeah, let me actually see if I can't get to my show you what I'm talking about. I think I gotta go to this. Yes. All right. This has to be it. I just want to play it. I don't want to download it. But you'll see it's crazy. The one, yeah, that has to be it right here. All right, then, fine. You'll see all the garbage that came in this. And when I tried to slice it into parts and objects, components, whatever, I was actually able to. And I was able to drag stuff out onto other plates. But oh man, okay, hold on. I got to share a window because it went to a different place. I guess stop screen. Yeah, and nothing against the bamboo. It's just the file from the get-go was garbage trash. All right, now you'll see maybe. Dude, there's a muffler. Look at all the crazy supports. There's a chassis rail. The fenders are not there at all, but they're there in the picture that you're looking at. This was a 14-hour print. But I did it because I wanted to see where even the negative space. This actually helped me tremendously right here. Having that to look at was huge for me. A little bit to know where it's tall, man. And it was supporting the whole, the top, or Actually, it was this, the tailgate. But it was also in that mess, which is hard to see, was tires. The fenders weren't there. The exhaust, the tires, the leaf springs, the chassis. It was crazy. It was obviously not made for there was no floor, but when you're looking at the file, it was there. When I was splitting it out onto plates, I was able to split out the fenders and the floor and the this and the that. But then when you go to preview it, it wasn't there. You couldn't do it. It wasn't there. But yeah, this is how I've been mocking this stuff up, dude. I mean, mostly all day it looked like something like this. And then I got the back pieces on. I'm like, okay, now I got what I need to put these fenders in between of. I'm so pumped about those, though. That was a good idea, looking for trailer fenders, because they're on their own. They're not super specific, and they print fast too. And again, you can scale them up. So all that for the trimmer's truck, which is absolutely worth it. We had the bed already, but it's not a trimmer's truck unless it's a thrift side, which is getting there. There's the bumper actually wraps around all the way to the back side of this fender, steps down off of this chunk, back, extends, and then goes towards the middle. There's more beef back here. And steering wheel's white. The bumpers are white. This bumper that's on here is like diamond plate. If you go to YouTube and you watch the scene where they first got grabbed by the worm and they thought dude was going to rip the axle out, not bad. I could maybe come back another little bit again, but I could also maybe cheat some. I mean, just a little bit of cheating, and I'm still okay, you know. It's been a lot of work to get it this right, though. I moved a lot of things around. I still want to lower it if possible, but I'm pretty good with it. And I do have a little bit of opportunity to go back if I wanted to. I just moved them up, but it was too far. I slid these cross members up. I cut on them. I made all kinds of stuff happen because they were too far back. And that was another thing too. I just keep getting closer and closer. And now that I've never been as close, I just love the way this worked out. And I can't believe how down and dirty the paint job was. Like literally the brown was still wet when I did the blue. And I'm over the moon. I gotta figure out some stencil stuff. And there's some more sanding I want to do to this. But I wanted to get it actually not white and orange and gray and looking so 3D print style. So thanks. I'm pretty tickled about it. I'm digging it. And I couldn't be happier with it. I really think it is proportioned pretty good. My only gripe right now is my fenders are a little big, wide, but I think we're going to live with it. I don't want to cut them because I don't want to cut them. I mean, now that I know what's going on, I got this one that I can do. I've got that one glued up pretty good though. I really do kind of like it. If I can lower it a little bit, I think that'll make it look not so wide also. All right, get you off of there. Well, thank you so much. I just started the printer again because it asks you if you want to go again. I'm like, sure, I'll make some more of these for the boys. Beadlock jig. All right, guys. Thanks so much. Kept you longer than I meant to. It's midnight. Thanks for coming by. Things are going cool. I won't work on the base camp until next Thursday. We're putting links on skids. Center plates getting close. Thanks so much. And John Graham, I think he split. I know he's wanting to check out the little jet and go shopping and stuff. We'll do that on Sunday. I got my servos now finally for my flaps on my big T28, which is what I want to go take out. That's what I want to go fly. I got a lot of stuff to fly. But that's what I want to take. That's what I want to do. So, yeah, I'm printing up another set of these beadlock jigs. So that won't take too long. But thanks so much, Fred, for doing that. Fred got a bamboo last week. Links in the description of the stuff, guys. Amazon, whatever. And, of course, Horizon and Bamboo. And thanks, Bamboo Labs, for sending me this machine to share learning with all of you guys how to work it. Appreciate you. We're out of here in 5. Hanger rats forever. We'll 3 you later. You're too good to be forgotten. We'll see you next time. Bye now. Boom.